Greetings, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I have drifted into the Underworld. The Star Wars Underworld. I have a bad feeling about this.
Here we go. We must go to the lower levels. The Underworld.
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
You're after something.
Ben.
Since I've started the Underworld, I've met so many great friends.
Chris.
I grew up in the 1990s, and mall packaging is nostalgic for me.
Dominic.
What I love most about Star Wars is that it's fun, and it's all-round good times.
So, this is where the fun begins.
May the Force be with us.
This thing really moves!
Whoa! I like this!
I can't believe you came all this way to see me.
Why am I not in the intro? I gotta come up with a snappy line.
What's up, Star Wars fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Star Wars Underworld podcast. We are your source for the latest breaking Star Wars news, reviews, and discussion each and every week. And this week on the show, we're going to be breaking down news and rumors alike. Plus, what is the future of The Mandalorian? We are not going to follow Yoda's advice, and we're going to try and answer that question. And as always, we'll be responding to your questions as well at the end of the show. All this and much more in the show. My name is Chris. Joining me is my good friend, Mr. Dominic Jones.
Hello, Chris. Hello, Ben. Hello, Hannah. Hello, everybody. Yeah, a little quiet week. It's just gonna be nice. It's gonna be a more laid back show. Trying to just enjoy the calm between the Lego specials and the skeleton crew. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun show.
That is too long of a calm. I don't want to wait so long between things. That's too long for there nothing to be happening. Come on, get your act together, schedulers.
I think that's the thing is though. I think this is going to be kind of the way going forward now that we're going to be down to one show a year, not a movie for another year after that. Like this, it's going to be a little bit more laid back. We're going to get back into the days of having to discuss the latest action figure news or the latest Lego sets. Like that's where we're going to be, or we can just really throw back on this show and go through every actor in Hollywood and say, hey, have they auditioned for Star Wars? Because that's what we did from about 2013 to 2014. That was, hey, this person says they auditioned for The Force Awakens or Star Wars 7, as it was called then. We could just always go back to that. It could be fun. Who knows? I feel like that's a terrible idea, but who knows? Maybe it'll be fun this time.
Cover watch. It's back.
Really bring back the old bits. Yeah, man.
Amazing. I mean, I remember too when we were like watching all the Star Wars movies and like commenting on them and stuff as well. We're doing all that
tracks.
We're doing all that stuff. Yeah. Also joining us, it is Ben Hart, the Star Wars guy.
Yes, indeed. It definitely seems like it's either feast or famine in the Star Wars community. It seems like it's been pretty quiet lately, which I think for Star Wars fandom, especially certain corners of Star Wars fandom, it's good to be quiet. Okay. It's good. Some of y'all need to settle down. Okay. And just in general, I don't know what the future holds in regards. I think we're going to talk about some of that tonight, maybe. Yeah, I think more time to just process everything and not have I don't know, 2 new episodes of TV and comics and books and all this kind of stuff. And you can't hardly keep up with any of it because it's all happening at once. And I'm just like, can we just chill out here? I want to enjoy some Star Wars and do it in a timely fashion and not feel so overwhelmed. So, yeah, next, tonight's going to be a chill night. And look, I'm looking forward to more chill nights in the future.
And not only is it feast or famine, but it just so happens on a show where we have basically one news story that is just us speculating about something. We have all of our hosts on the show, all of the hosts to talk about that one thing. Oh my goodness, it's wonderful. Also joining us from the Raeside, it's Hannah.
G'day there. Yes, how wonderful that all 4 of us in the same virtual room for the first time in 27 years, I think it's been now. How wonderful. It's going to be a good night. And yeah, even if there's not too much to talk about, we'll find something. We'll pull it out of somewhere to talk about Star Wars. So can't wait for it.
Where are we going to pull it out of?
No, just somewhere. I don't know.
Somewhere. Going to pull it.
Here's some sky. I don't know.
Pull it out of the drawer. There's a drawer somewhere.
There's a drawer right here.
Drawer. That's exactly what she was going to say. Right. Mm.
Chris,
George
what's the
Banks.
thing so we can get to our news story singular?
Indeed. So we're gonna hit some promos and plugs real quick. Make sure that you punch that subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, you can super chat with us. You can become a channel member. Make sure you leave us a review and hit that subscribe button as well. If you're listening on your favorite podcast app, we have a Discord. You can check that out in the description, in the show notes, and you can follow us on Threads, which is Instagram's new exciting texting app. Check it out at the SWU. Make sure you check out all of the other shows on the Star Wars Underworld Network. We got the Raeside, we got Iron Cannon, Tales from Beyond the Galaxy Tractor Beam, and more. For those listening, the Raeside is spelled Raeside. Check it out.
All right. Well, let's kick things off with
I have a quote to share before we get into it. Sorry, I couldn't enough to stop you talking first on.
No.
This is
Gotta be faster, Hannah. Faster.
I know.
Faster and more intense. Let's go.
I don't think you'd win a duel.
Speaking of Chris spelling the last name of my last name and also the name of the channel, the Raeside. That you're not the only person to have done that, Chris, because my whole life I've had to spell it because I can't tell you the amount of back in the days of letters and getting letters in the mail, how many like bills or just important letters of something from important institutions that has said to Hannah Raeside. The number of times and also my family too, my parents, like growing up as a kid, it was also like, here's this like important bank statement or like Sue Raeside, and the number of times the people have thought we said Raeside. So I'm glad you spell it, Chris, and I appreciate that because I don't want anyone thinking I'm Raeside.
I think if you ever decide to follow in Ben's footsteps and get into the restaurant game,
yes,
it's set up right there.
Raeside.
I was gonna
Raeside.
Ray fried chicken. There
Yeah.
we go. Come and get it.
Ray fried chicken on the side.
Right,
On
there
the
we go.
side. Oh, come on.
On
Don't
the
just have
Raeside.
it
Here we
fried.
go.
It
It's
is
not
Ray
the Ray
fried.
fried. Don't look up the Ray fried.
Have two locations, one in Australia and one in Mississippi. Those are
Yeah,
the
the
only
two-
locations.
The two greatest places
For
on the
a
earth.
world-spanning franchise with 2 locations.
See,
Yeah.
I'm just here not
What?
trusting that like YouTube or Google will be able to correct someone's spelling if they spell it like REY or RAY or RAI or all the
Right.
other ways to spell
Or
Ray. I mean,
RAESYDE. You know, that could happen too.
Side.
People could
Yeah.
spell it
Yeah.
completely wrong.
Oh, my
or
word.
like a neighbor, it could be REIGHSYDE. I mean, that is a perfectly
You really have to be trying to spell it wrong to get to go that way.
I'm sure somebody spells it that way. It was some
Sure.
distant cousin of yours spells it
Sure.
that way.
But anyway.
All right.
So just making sure
Thank
that
Thank you
people
for
can
spelling.
outsmart.
Chris is on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yes,
He's on it.
Yes.
Tune into the Ray Fried every single week for all of your cooking needs. All right, let's dive into things, and we'll start with I guess the biggest story this week is a rumor that the Mandalorian and Grogu will be the end of the Mandalorian as we know it. This comes from noted scooper Daniel RPK, aka Daniel Richtman, in his latest newsletter. He says, quote, "I've also confirmed the Mandalorian movie will be the final no season 4. He will be in other projects after that, but the Mandalorian will be over." Now, I'm gonna say real quick off the top, we're in a period of time where we hear a lot about Star Wars projects being canceled and Star Wars projects going away and Star Wars just not being able to do things. I'm going to say this is not that, because remember, Mandalorian came on in 2019. The movie comes out in 2026. That's 7 years. Admittedly, it's not like there hasn't been a show. The show hasn't been on for all 7 of those years, but it's been around for a long time. So if you had just said in 2019, hey, the show will be winding down in 2026, you'd go, yeah, okay, great. That sounds like a good run. And even if we were having another season, instead of a movie and it was coming out next year, that's still a 6-year run. 4 seasons in 6 years is kind of par for the course these days. If anything, it's a bit more than what you normally would get. So I think there's a temptation to look at this story and go, oh my God, it's happening again. They're killing everything. It's horrible. Disney, they don't know what they're doing. Whereas this one, I think, is The Mandalorian has been a success. It's a success story for Star Wars. And this is just it naturally reaching its ending point, its conclusion.
Ooh, that was a big breath from all of us.
I know. I heard the other breath. I heard the other breath. And I'm like, okay, let's see what big take is coming.
Let's go.
Someone's really gearing up.
This is gonna be a big conversation.
Okay,
Wow.
I'll take it. Okay, no one else gonna. If everyone else gonna breathe, I'll talk.
Take it away, Ben. Take it away, Ben.
I think it's hard to. I think some people are saying in the chat that, like, what does he mean by this? Does he mean just the Mandalorian series? Which probably that's kind of what he's saying. The idea here is like, okay, the Mandalorian season 4 is not happening. That theoretically there won't be season 4. It'll just be Mando and Grogu showing up in The Mandalorian and Grogu and the Heirs of the Empire, the movie, whatever they're going to be calling that. And then whatever else, other cameos or whatever else. I don't know. Like, I think that's maybe a bit of a realistic. Like, it doesn't mean that the Mandalorian Grogu are like done. I think they'll show up in other things if this is true. I don't necessarily buy it just from a standpoint of like I think it's a good idea if you're saying, okay, Din Djarin and Din Grogu are going to show up in 2 more movies, and then that's it. And then they won't be around for a while. I think that's a good story decision of just like, okay, these characters have run their course. Let's not run them into the ground. Let's take a break from them. And then let's, obviously bring them back in 5-10 years and let's make a big deal out of it. The cynical side of me says that Disney would never allow their best money-making machine, aka that little green Muppet, Grogu, to ever be put away for any amount of time. I feel like they're going to milk Grogu and Din for as long as possible. I don't think they're going away in any shape or form. I could be wrong about that, but I think it will be in other series. Maybe there won't be another season of Mandalorian, just not because it's not successful, but because that they're just moving away from the streaming model and they're not going to be doing more of that. Like I said, maybe he's on point. I don't know Daniel Rittman's overall, his track record with scoops. But I think, even when the scoops are accurate, sometimes the industry changes, the plan changes, and we could be looking at something completely different in the near future. But I don't think Din and Grogu are going away anytime soon, regardless of how they show up. I think we're stuck with them.
Yeah, that's a fair point, because there's definitely an air within Lucasfilm and Disney at the moment for Star Wars of a big just checkpoint at the moment. I think especially the era of the Acolyte really made them have a big check of themselves. I feel more than in the past 5 years. I think there was this kind of pattern of announcing and canceling and doing these different things, and then they weren't. I felt like they weren't super aware of the pattern. But then I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I this is at least how I feel. I feel like there was just a massive checkpoint with the Acolyte where they went, where is the actual future here? We can't just look at immediately what's happening. We got to look at where we're going to take these stories, where we're going to take characters, where we're going to take audiences, not just for this one story, but we're in the future. And I really think you've got a good point there, Ben, of like it feels like not in what they've kind of been doing already to put aside Grogu and Din Djarin at the moment, but it definitely feels like they're at least trying to make some sort of decisions about it. And I feel like a lot of this comes back to Dave Filoni being in the role he's been in. He's been in it for almost, I think it's about almost a year since Dave Filoni was announced as Chief Creative Officer. Is that his name? Is that his title?
Something like that.
Yes.
creative
Yeah.
director or something.
That
Yeah.
is correct.
Yeah, it's been almost a year since he's been in that role, and I think over that year, and especially at this point now, you can definitely feel deliberate creative decisions being made, and I'm sure that that's a big part. Him being in this role is a big part of that, and I feel as though there are really big decisions creatively deciding, okay, this is how we're going to handle this from now on. This is, you'll have the various Bobs coming in saying, make a show, make a movie, telling us what needs to be done. But then I think Dave is making a lot of moves in the background as well. And, Din Djarin's direct story ending here feels right. I think I'm with you, Dom, where it's like we've had him for 7 years. And it's not that I want him to stop, but I understand why I think it would stop here. I think the purpose of his character existing within Star Wars, that story has pretty much been told. And it ending with a big movie that, again, coming back to the Mando movie, like just being a big epic action, fighting, Din Djarin being cool, Grogu being his cute sidekick. I think that would be a fantastic way to actually finish off this character and not with another season. Like it might feel a bit janky, a little bit lopsided if there was like movie, then end in the season 4. So I quite like the decision. I think it's a good move. Good move.
This actually reminds me of the original plan for Star Wars live action television. If you go back to what George Lucas said about the Star Wars Underworld series that was going to be following up Revenge of the Sith back in the day, it was going to be one show that spun off into 4 different shows, and that was the plan for it. And that's basically what The Mandalorian has become. It's become one show that introduced us to this era in the universe, and then has created spin-offs into other things that exist within that same era, like the Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka, and perhaps there's another thing that might be, what Rangers of the New Republic was going to be, and all that. And so, I think really what's being said here is that this era will continue. We know that we're getting more Ahsoka. We know that we're getting that Dave Filoni film, which this actually provides more information about what that could be by process of elimination, which is interesting. And we know we might be getting more shows as well. So in this era, so really, it's not that the era is ending. It's not that the characters are ending. We've seen the Mandalorian and Grogu. We've seen Din and Grogu in other things outside of the Mandalorian, like the Book of Boba Fett. So yeah, I think what y'all are saying is correct. Like this is the story being centered around the character of Din Djarin, that's coming to a close, but these characters are still going to be involved, and this era is still going to be continued to be fleshed out through this overarching Mandoverse, which now is both a cinematic and a small screen universe together, which is really cool. And it is very interesting to pick up on that point, what this does say about the Dave Filoni film, because up until this point, I've kind of thought of that being the culmination of everything. And I've been thinking that we would be running through the Mandalorian all the way to that point, and that would almost be like a culmination of both Ahsoka and the Mandalorian and all the stories in this universe. Now it makes me think that it's really going to be all the shows coming together in like an Avengers Endgame like way, and not necessarily something that's going to be fully focused or majorly focused on the characters of Din and Grogu. They might very well be in it, and it might be very well a sequel in a way to Mandalorian and Grogu. But I think the fact that the Mandalorian Grogu is being billed as the end of that journey suggests that movie is going to have a much wider scope, and it's going to be mainly focused on some of the bigger events that are going on and a lot of the other characters that exist in this era.
Yeah, when we eventually get to the Dave Filoni Heir to the Empire movie, I fully expect the poster, when we're looking at the poster, to see Din Djarin front and center with Grogu and Ahsoka and maybe Jude Law's character from Skeleton Crew and a couple of the other like big characters from these shows that have been coming out. I think that story is still going to very much be a Din Djarin story, but it's also going to be an Ahsoka story and Jude Law story and all these characters. Boba Fett, yeah.
Better be some Boba Fett in that.
Better be some Boba Fett in that. I expect that all will come together. And I almost like, which is almost what I was expecting anyways. Like it's good to get a little bit of confirmation, quote unquote, about this. Like if the report is to be believed. But that's what I assumed was happening anyways. I figured we'd have the Mando Grogu movie, we'd have Ahsoka, and then we'd be rolling into Heir to the Empire either as a one-off finale to everything or a kickoff of a trilogy that will be a finale to everything. So that's where that's where it's always felt like it was going. Perhaps with a season 4 instead of a movie.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, speaking about like Grogu and the profitability of keeping the character on screen. I mean, regardless of the fact that we probably will be seeing Grogu through some of these other things, I think it would be shocking if we go years and years without seeing anything with Grogu in it. Star Wars does have a tendency to build up these characters that are huge pillars of marketing and then drop them in the current material for a bit. I mean, BB-8 is a great example of this. We thought that in 2015, when BB-8 was like the most common thing you would see in merchandising, that would be the case for, decades. And, now we're about a decade after that, and you don't really see much BB-8 anymore. And that goes back to kind of some of the previous characters that kind of had that, like R2-D2, for example, was everywhere for a while. And, we still get R2-D2 in merchandising, but it's not like we have an R2 story every year. There's so many of them. So it's like they know, looking at the long game, that they don't need to keep a Star Wars character in screen year in and year on screen year in and year out to still continue to be able to market that character. Because I mean, that's the case with like Disney princesses, for example. There's certain Disney princesses that haven't had new media and since our parents or grandparents were kids, and yet they're still very popular, still selling a lot of merchandise. So that's the case with Grogu. I don't think they need to keep him on screen. But with that being said, I think that there's still a lot of opportunity to continue to do that more than maybe BB-8.
Well, and I will say, I've already felt a little bit like the Grogu thing is is starting to fade off into, its next phase. Like the Baby Yoda moment might be over or approaching its end. Not in the sense that people won't like the character, won't be excited to see him show up in future stories, and
it's Grogover.
Won't buy new merch. But yeah, maybe it is Grogover. Like, there were a few years there from 2019 to say 2023 where it's like there was like a new Grogu toy coming out every week. Remember the Galactic Snack and Grogu where you could buy it and feed it cookies?
Amazing.
But there hasn't been a new thing like that in a while. So I suspect we're maybe we're about to hit that lull with Grogu where there's not a ton of material or merch. For the foreseeable future.
I would say that. However, I think that there will be a grand finale, of course, because with the movie, there's going to be more than ever, because Grogu technically has never been in a movie before. So in a way, Grogu might actually reach an even more general audience than before, which is hard to imagine. But potentially, that could be the big moment there. But then after that fade out is definitely understandable, and they probably will. Another character will probably ascend as that like top iconic cute Star Wars character. I know that they've already had a few good contenders over the last
they had the perfect design, perfect character right there, and they canceled the show.
Yes.
All right, so that's where we're at with the Mandalorian. What about Star Wars Pirates? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Star Wars Production Weekly, which seems to just be a list of stuff that's being made, says that there's a new series called Star Wars Pirates in development, and we know nothing about that. There's no more information one way or the other. Thoughts?
This upsets me. I don't like it at all. I think it's silly. I don't like it. I'm not interested. Not a good choice. I'm like, really? You're like in a very intense, things are being canceled, things are being said about Star Wars, and you're like, you know what'll fix it? Pirates.
Pirates.
Oh, no. No. Incorrect. I don't like it.
I think this is the next animated series.
Okay.
I think they're which may tie into Skeleton Crew or may not. I just think it's different enough, and I think they've got enough characters to do something with this. I think Hondo obviously is the elephant in the room when it comes to pirates. I think we haven't seen Hondo in quite a while. He's overdue for things. I mean, unless you go to Disneyland every day, like he's been in Disneyland. He took a vacation to Disneyland. And he hasn't really come back into the storytelling much, except for I think he's going to come up in Outlaws soon. So maybe the Hondo Assance we're approaching. But I think something to do with that. I don't know if they're going to do a live action. As much as like the pirates look interesting in Skeleton Crew, I don't know if there's like enough material there to like, oh, we're gonna do a spit-off of a spit-off like with pirates, and it's just gonna be that Vane dude and his Wolfman buddy. I'm like, I don't know about that. I mean, if it is that, then fine, I'll watch it, but I'm not, I'm more in Hannah's cape. I'm just like, this really?
Well, no, I mean, I can't imagine them just taking some characters that are supporting characters, side characters, and then doing a series about them. I feel like based on their track record of what they've done with new series, typically the main characters are new characters. So I think that what it'll be, whether it's animated or live action, it's going to be all new characters, and maybe there might be some cameos from some pirates that we know, depending on where it is in the timeline. But I think that kind of it's going to be new characters, and I welcome that because a lot of the shows that we get, there's one thing that they have in common, which is the heroes and protagonists of the shows are either Jedi or rebels, basically, and that's pretty much that's a lot of them. And so I especially with the Mandalorian not continuing, and that you can make an argument is an aligned protagonist in many ways.
Yeah,
we need more shows that deal with protagonists that aren't in that category. And so because it seems like anything, even if it's not branded as that, ends up becoming that.
Mm-hmm. I think there's real potential here. I do think there is. If it is going to be Star Wars pirates, like I do think there's something there, and I think it could be a lot of fun. That said, there's been a few things lately that have cropped up in Production Weekly as like a new Star Wars thing and then have vanished. So I'm not putting too much stock into this. That said, speaking of pirates, you know what I think we should do? We should check in on our most important poll of last week.
Yes.
When we asked the world who their second favorite Star Wars pirate was, Hondo Ohnaka, of course, being the first most favorite pirate. As a reminder, the options were Gorian Shard, Synara San, the Crimson Corsair, and Han Solo. And you're never going to believe this. In first place, to be everybody's second favorite Star Wars pirate, with a whopping 68% of the vote. Any guesses here? Any predictions? Any guesses?
No idea.
Han Solo.
Han Solo runs away with it.
Oh my God.
What a stunner. In second place, the Crimson Corsair with 19%. Gorian Shard taking the bronze with 7%. And Synara San, a respectable 6% of the vote, I think, for a Star Wars Resistance character.
That'll get you public election funding.
There you go. We can get Star Wars Resistance back on the ballot. There we go. All right, that's the rumors. Star Wars Pirates, the end of The Mandalorian as we know it. I'm now looking at the show notes, and it says here in big pink bold letters, Ben's secret thing. Ben, what the hell is about to happen? I know it's about to happen. I know it's about to happen.
Ben Hart, the Star Wars guy.
Yes.
Ben Hart, the Star Wars guy.
Star Wars rules. This is momentous. This is exciting. Why, hello there, Ben.
Ben
is the founder of the Star Wars Underworld, Mr. Ben Hart.
How's it going, everybody?
Forgot how long that was.
Oh, that was good. That gave me just enough time to find what I think I need to find, which is invisible object.
Yeah,
apparently.
I was gonna say with your green screen, Chris, it appears to be you were holding up nothing.
There we go.
There it is. Ben,
Is this on? Is this thing
Yep.
on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, hell of a time for my system to just completely crap out.
Perfect timing.
Love that. Just love that. Don't you love technology, guys?
What a night.
So good.
So what did you say?
Ben, it's time for your secret thing.
I thought that's
whatever
what
that
you
means.
said. I thought that's what you said. I didn't know we were going to do it this early in the show, but here we are. Thank you for humoring me. I have a surprise for you guys, and I have to start with a question. Shall we play a game?
Oh.
Yes. I'm down immediately.
Let's play a game.
All right, so a little context here for those unfamiliar. I was inspired by something that we did on the show. I think it's probably been at least a year ago. We were talking about the Mandalorian at the time. We did a thing that Dom brought forth that he had stolen from something else. It was called, I believe, Star Wars character or hockey player, was it not?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. So since then, my mind was left just thinking about a certain other thing that could be done in a similar manner. And I couldn't get it out of my head. And recently I realized it could actually be done. And so I came up with this. The name of my game is Mississippi Town or Star Wars Planet.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So as you know, there are many Star Wars planets in the Star Wars galaxy that have very, let's just say, interesting names.
Yeah.
There's also quite a few cities and towns in my home state of Mississippi that have some, let's just say, interesting names that some are almost impossible to pronounce. And I thought there's a lot of crossover here. You could present these, and to the layman, they would not know the difference between a Star Wars planet or a Mississippi town. So that's going to be putting you guys on hot seat tonight to figure out. You have a 50-50 chance of figuring out is what I'm about to say, quite a long list actually, of these place names. I'm just going to say place names. And you have to give me an answer. Is it a town in the state of Mississippi in the United States or a planet in the Star Wars galaxy?
I'm so excited.
Are you ready?
Right.
Yes. Awesome.
Oh, and feel free to feel free to write down your own scores because I may miscount at some point. This is very high stakes, guys. Keep your scores, okay? And yes, I know I said something about boards, but you may not need them. Just shout it out.
I have a board.
Okay. Just do the board then. Just do the board then.
Hannah, I know you have 10 whiteboards.
Yes, I do.
I have one somewhere.
I got it.
There we go. I don't know if you want to show what's on it, but what secret plans
What is
are
on
on
it?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you don't want to erase it. Maybe it's important.
Whoa. Let me get a whiteboard marker. Hang on.
I
Ben
have an
does-
extra one.
Ben, I feel like we need to come up with like a name for this game. Like,
I just gave you a name.
no, but like a fun name.
That's not fun. Come on, man. Oh, I know.
Star
what
Wars
you're
Planet or Mississippi Town. I mean, that does sound like something from like a late night TV show.
What about like Mississippi or Planet City?
Mississippi or Mustafar.
There we go.
Okay.
I like that.
All right. All right.
No, it's
All
gonna
right.
rhyme at the end. It's
I
gonna
kind of
rhyme
like
with
that.
ippy.
I kind of like that.
Okay, well, what's a Star Wars planet that ends in Ippy?
Yippee.
You're about to find out.
Well done.
Yippee.
All right.
Are we prepared? Are we ready, Hannah?
Ready.
Are we ready?
Mississippi planet, really?
No, Mississippi or Tatooine, yippee.
Okay, all right.
Amazing.
Miss
All
a
right.
yippee.
If y'all are ready, why don't I
Okay.
go ahead and start
Okay.
with the first one? Your first place name is Algoma.
Oh no.
Algoma. Algoma.
All right.
Ugh.
All right. I think I know. this
Now
one.
I got to figure out how to write Mississippi.
Yeah.
I gotta remember the abbreviation
Just,
for
look,
it. I think I know. I know what it
MS
is.
is fine.
Yeah,
You
MS.
pass will MS is
I'm
fine.
gonna do it. Yeah.
Do we all
MS
show our
or
boards at the same
SW,
time?
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
go ahead.
okay.
Okay, now reveal your answers.
Okay, so
If I can see them.
We've all said Mississippi.
Okay,
All said
so
Mississippi.
Did I spell that
Dom
right?
says Mississippi. You
Nope. Nope. There's two P's.
Damn it.
Oh, there's two P's.
There's two of
That's so
everything
fun.
except the M.
Right.
We're all fanny doolies.
So correct me if I'm wrong. You all said Mississippi, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the correct answer is Algoma, Mississippi is a
Yes.
city
Yay!
with a
Oh, that was a
population
complete guess.
of 705 people.
That
All right,
that
so
one I
1
was fairly confident about because there's a university in Ontario that's called Algoma University, and I'm fairly confident it's not named after a Star Wars planet.
Oh, good call.
Tatooine.
I
Tatooine,
literally
good.
just picked Mississippi because it ended in an A, and I just assumed that if it ended in
That's
an A, it's
fair.
more likely to be real than Star Wars because
That's
it's
fair.
Latin.
That's fair.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
just guessed.
Also fair. Your next planet or city is Ballum. Ballum. Ballum.
Can we get the language of origin?
Don't have that
Give it
information
away.
in front of me.
Can you use it in a sentence?
I was on my way to Ballum and
There we go. Okay, I guess that.
I'm gonna turn the chat off so that I can't. So I don't want to cheat accidentally.
Oh, I haven't even paying attention. Let me do that. Yeah.
That's so smart. That's so smart. Yeah.
Delay is not long enough.
I just so you know, I love
Right.
this. This is so much fun.
This is
All
really
right.
fun. Yeah, this is a good idea.
All right, I just can't, have we locked in our answers?
Yeah,
I'm locked in.
I'm locked
All
in.
right, all right.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Show your answers.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
we got.
Somebody's gonna lose.
So we got.
And it's you, Chris.
No, it might be. We'll see.
could be.
So the correct answer is.
Well, actually, hold on. For the people listening, Chris says Star Wars. I say Star Wars. Hannah says Mississippi.
Thank you for the narration.
Okay, so the correct answer is it is a planet in the Star Wars
Yay!
galaxy.
Thank goodness.
So yeah,
Do we
can't
know
tell
anything?
you can't tell anything about Ballum. Honestly, can't tell you anything about Ballum. It's a planet.
Ballum,
somewhere.
if it was a town, would not have a gender because of Latin, and towns are women. Thank you.
What? Jesus Christ! What? Okay.
Ballum.
All right.
I'm definitely gonna lose if I follow
Bal-
that rule for everything.
Ballum was a planet located within Hutt space near the Nile occlusion zone during the High Republic era. A year after the destruction of Starlight Beacon, Ballum was the base of operations for the Scarabida the Wise. Appeared in the High Republic 1, 2, and 3.
Scrabadabadoo.
Scrabadabadoo. All right, next question, Ben.
All right, your next place is Alpin. Alpinn. Alpin. Much
All right.
writing.
All right.
Oh,
Too bad. I already
I'll
saw it.
reveal mine as well.
All right, just throw them up there then.
All right. Chris says Mississippi. Hannah says Star Wars. I say, for the sake of a story that you may have heard told on this story on the show before, effing Mississippi.
So that's 3 points for Chris, 3 points for Doug.
Oh my word.
Oh wow! Oh my god! Can't believe I
Actually,
got that one.
actually, hang on a second. What did you
Wait.
what did you put down? What did you put down?
Mississippi.
Oh damn! No, it's opposite. It's opposite. You're wrong.
What?
Was
Hannah,
it Star Wars?
it's Star Wars. It's a Star Wars planet. I don't know why I misread that. I don't know why.
Yes.
You don't know
yes. Crazy
Plot
cat.
twist. I planned that.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Gosh.
What was
Oh my word.
Alpin.
Alpin? Do we know anything about Alpin?
Never heard of Alpin in either place. I guess that there's probably an Alpine somewhere, but
It's
You know what it is? You know how I decide is that I say the word in like a southern accent, and I'm like, does that sound right? Alpin.
that's a
Like, that
good plan.
That doesn't sound like someone in Mississippi says that. So I'm like, Star Wars.
Hannah's
That's
doing
my
impressions.
point.
I'm using Latin. I don't know what Dom's
Well,
doing.
the good
over
news
there,
is
but-
you're all
going by
tied.
vibe.
now.
It's working.
Colleges,
It's working.
And well, we're all tied at 2, apparently. Alpin,
Yes.
spelled
Yes.
Alpinn, has appeared in Catalyst, a Rogue One novel, Darth Vader Annual #2, and it's mentioned in Rebel Rising.
Oh wow! Didn't get that far into the novel apparently.
All right. Look,
I did
this
start
this
that
next one,
I have it somewhere.
this next one is sort of a throwaway because it's kind of familiar. It might be familiar to you, but we're gonna go with it anyway.
But
See how you guys
why?
fare.
Familiar why?
So the next one is Yerbana. Yerbana. Yerbana.
Yerbana.
Yeah, I was going down to Yerbana.
Urbana.
Oh,
Right,
God,
Yerbana.
What did you call me?
I didn't think about it like that. I didn't think about it like that.
We off holiday
Fair
in
point.
Urbana. Visit out cousin in Urbana. Yeah, okay.
I'm going against my rule here. I'm gonna follow
All-
Hannah's rule instead of my
All
rule.
I'm gonna
Thank
say
you.
is
Thank
you're
you.
you're I don't know, you might feel dumb if you get this one wrong.
Oh,
So
no.
That is
Don't
not
say that.
helping, Ben. Damn it.
all right. Board pencils down, boards up. You've had your chance.
All right.
Yeah.
I say Star Wars. Chris says
Oh,
Star Wars.
wow!
Hannah
he said
says
different
Mississippi.
things. Fascinating.
All right.
Yerbana is a Star Wars planet. It's specifically from what did you put down, Chris? What was? Okay, Star Wars. That's what I thought. You were acting like you
Yeah,
lost.
you look disappointed.
No,
I
I was relieved.
I'm
I was
also-
relieved. I was like, oh, thank goodness.
I'm also keeping score, Ben, just in case.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I
I
appreciate
Okay.
that.
am
But
just
okay, so
myself, though,
your
because
Teacher's
Yerbana,
pet.
apparently-
What the hell, man?
Yerbana is the one planet.
Last week.
Yerbana is the one planet on this list that I know of that actually appears on screen. And it's
Yeah, I think I've heard
the
of this.
first planet you see in the Mandalorian. Siege of Mandalore. Or Yerbana.
Okay.
I know I've heard that one before.
But I hadn't heard it.
Yeah. Okay. Up next, water.
What?
What?
WATER. Water. Or you could say
That's-
water.
that's
or you
what
could say
Australians-
water.
Wait, is that how you pronounce Camino?
This-
I mean, who the
That-
hell knows?
That's how Australians have to pronounce water. Like in America.
Water.
Can I
If
have a
say,
glass
can
of
I get a
water?
bottle of water? If I say, can I have a bottle of water or a glass of water? Like they don't know what to say. I'm saying this from thousands of experiences with Americans being like, what?
Where
Like,
are you?
water. Can I have a
Where
glass
the
of water?
Where the hell are you
They're like-
going in America where they're not picking
This
up on?
happened in San Francisco. This happened in
Listen,
LA.
listen.
It was
If
not-
you
they're
say
like,
that you
what are
want
you
water,
saying?
they're gonna give you a burger. That's how it works. They'll give you a water burger if you want water.
A wad of burger.
Water.
A water burger.
Water.
That's
Is
that
that
on
a
here.
what is that? Is that
what
Wahlberg
Whataburger.
thing?
No, Whataburger is the most popular burger chain in Texas.
Correct.
Oh, there you go.
It's what a burger, like what a burger.
Next week, Burger Chain or Star Wars Planet?
Yeah.
Honestly, let's go with that.
Okay. All
All
right. Pencils
All right.
down, boards up. What do you got for me?
Mississippi.
Oh,
Mississippi
you're not
across
for
the
once.
board.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And that will be a no points across the board.
Of
What?
course, it's a trick question.
Water
Of course.
is a Star Wars planet.
No, it isn't. That's a lie.
I had to be
Sorry.
a trick question. It's
Survey
so obvious.
says, eh.
Why did I go for it?
What happens on the planet water?
I don't know.
Water.
I couldn't.
It's probably a water
This is
planet.
enough research to come up with all these names.
Look,
Okay, come on.
If
give me
you
a break.
to water on Wikipedia, it gives you an article about water, as in liquid.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Yeah,
Oh,
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
That's what I meant. If
Well,
I
there
said
should be a thing at the top of the screen that says, "Do you mean the planet water?"
Nope.
And it probably isn't.
It
I don't know. It
doesn't.
might be Legends. Okay, it might be Legends.
It does say Ben ice redirects here. So
Frozen type. All right. Well, okay. No, nobody wins. Nobody loses.
I mean, it
You're all
doesn't matter because we all said the same thing, so it doesn't affect the game.
Score
All
does
right.
not change.
Yeah.
We're moving on to the next one, and the
How
next
many
one
rounds
is.
are there?
I hope this goes for another 35 minutes.
I
at
mean,
least. This is great.
I mean, I've got enough for another 20 or 30 minutes at least.
let's
We
go.
could split this up and do another round.
Dom,
later.
you might need to grab
It's
another
entirely
one.
up to you. It's entirely up to you. The next one up is Mantachi. Mantachi. Mantachiie. Mantachi.
Going down to Mantachi.
Okay, that sounds realistic. I
That's
believe
plausible.
that.
That's
I
plausible.
believe that.
So
To get some water.
Ooh, it gets me.
all right. I think it's been enough time. Pencils down, boards up. What do you got?
I wrote it upside down. Wait.
Oh.
Wait a minute. What is this? what is this? How am I just realizing this now? How am I just realizing this now?
Yeah.
Which one did I
Oh
think?
my
I don't
God.
know. I'm in
We
trouble.
could just keep it
Okay,
like that.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
You just
specify
switch it
that I
when we
meant
want it the other way.
Mississippi. Even
Yeah.
though if you turn it upside down, it clearly says Star Wars.
Oh my God. Okay, so what is your actual? Okay, that's the answer. You're going with. You're sticking with that one. You're sticking with that one.
This is
Okay.
MS. I
All right, guys.
Mississippi.
I gotta say, I'm just so disappointed in all of you. Points all around. It's a Mississippi City.
I knew
Population:
Yes.
Manatachi, Mississippi. Population 1,121.
Wow.
it.
Banana.
Love it.
I feel like we need fun facts about the towns too. Like who?
I mean,
who's the most famous?
how much
person?
time you got?
Nana.
Did you say none?
No. How do you say banana? Like the fruit.
Banana.
Banana.
Nanners.
Banana. Banana.
Banana. Bananos.
You-
So
Okay,
Mantachi,
all right.
Mantachi began as a store owned and operated by a man named Wood Pierce. There we go.
It began as a store.
Look, I do have a couple
One
of fun
thought.
facts.
You know what? This store is so good it should be a town.
Yeehaw.
All right. Look, I do have a couple of fun facts later in the program if we get to them. Okay. So we got to keep moving. Okay. We got to keep moving.
Program? What are you, 65, Ben? The
It's the-
program.
Stay tuned to the program.
The program.
I'm just excited that I don't need to write anything else down. I just have to control
Yeah.
clipboard's upside down or not. I don't know why it took me this long to figure that out.
Oh God. Okay. Up next, we've got Pastoria. 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 Is it Star Wars or is it Mississippi?
All right.
I'm gonna go out on a limb on this one.
Yeah. I'm not happy about my guess,
This
but I
is
wouldn't
a
be happy
close
about
one.
it the other
It
way.
follows
yeah.
both the planet naming rules and the town naming rules. Clearly.
That's why I picked it.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Pencils down.
All right.
Boards up.
Hannah says Star Wars. I say Mississippi. Chris says Mississippi.
Mississippi.
It is a planet.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
I
so
feel like it's
Unreal.
been in something that I've watched or read or something because it did feel like it, and I'm like, no, it feels too much like a planet, so it has to be.
Dom's in the lead now. Am I?
No, I believe we are tied at 4 across the board.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is tense.
Ben, why am I
But-
doing better at keeping score of your game?
That's why I'm asking you. Okay.
It's hard
Should-
to
should
pronounce
we-
these correctly.
Should we start doing like elimination now? Because we're tied. We've all gotten 4 right through 7 questions.
Elimination?
Yeah.
No.
So next person, if you
No,
get it
I
wrong,
wanna
then you're
win.
out. And Yeah. Well, if you if you get it right, you
Let
could
me
still
win, Dom. Let me win.
Well, if you get the next one right and I get it wrong, you'd advance and I'd be out. Like that. Like it's almost like.
Just ignore him.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Well,
Ben has curated a perfect game.
Let me. Yeah, I'm.
Whoever speaks first is out. What are you talking about, dude? Let us do the scoring.
Ben has said he has 35 rounds of this. I don't know if I can go for 20 more rounds.
We're almost halfway done.
I would like to go to 38.
Oh,
please.
jeez. Okay. Elimination round next. Let's do it. Oh my word.
Okay.
No. Okay. Let's do a few more.
Let's do a few more, and then we'll save some for another time.
Yeah.
Look, there's this could go on forever. The next one up,
yeah,
Okolona, Okolona, Okolona.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Reveal. Should we reveal answers?
Boards up.
All right.
Hello there.
Chris says Mississippi. Hannah says Mississippi. I'm going truly off the board and saying Alabama.
Wait, are you trying to eliminate yourself? What is happening? Don't allow this. Disallow.
Okay, fine. Mississippi.
Okay, that's better. That
still solves.
Points across the board. Okolona is a
Yes.
town in Mississippi. Population 2,513.
Okay.
All right. The next one is an interesting one.
Is it now?
Arkabutla. Arkabutla. I'm sorry. This one's rough.
I'm sorry. What?
We're gonna have to spell this.
Arkabutla. Arkabutla. Arkabutla.
So I'm giving my answer for this based on the same logic that I used a couple of years ago in the trivia game when there was a planet that was, the answer was a planet and it wasn't pronounced how it was spelt, and Matthew pronounced it a different way than it was spelt. And I'm like, there's no way somebody just reading this for the first time would pronounce it that way. So it has to be, the correct answer has to be this. And the amount of trouble that Ben had saying that means it's not a town from nearby where he grew up. It has to be a Star Wars planet that he just found on Wikipedia.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of things.
I'm
Okay,
going-
rest of you.
I'm going for Mississippi because it starts with ARK, and there's an area near there called Arkansas that also starts with ARK, and that is my logic.
Okay,
I mean, the last one I was, because it sounds like Oklahoma. That's why.
Okay, so Star Wars for Dom, Star Wars for Hannah.
I'm scared.
Mississippi for Chris. Chris is advancing to the next round with 1 point because Arkabutla, Mississippi, population 285. Fun fact. This is a big one. This is one Mississippi town that actually has a Star Wars connection to it. Okay,
it's not a town; it's a street. What are you talking about?
It's a store, actually.
It's an incorporation.
It's a store.
Yeah,
It's a store.
I'm pretty sure I've been into Walmarts that have more people in them than this town.
Look,
No offense to anybody who lives in Arkabut fart place.
But bonus trivia. Someone big for Star Wars was born in this town.
You're kidding.
George Lucas.
Was it James Earl Jones?
Correct again.
Oh,
the birthplace of one James Earl Jones, Darth Vader.
No way. That's insane.
How did I know?
What the
I only
hell?
knew you would know that because of all of the James Earl Jones research we've all done over the past few weeks.
Right. That one was fresh in my memory,
Yes.
especially after the most recent passing of James Earl Jones. Rest in peace, may he. Okay, you want to do a couple more, maybe? Couple more?
I mean, I win if y'all don't keep playing. So,
all right, you know what? Let's do the 10th question because this would be the 10th question. Let's do the 10th question, and if somehow we wind up tied, then we're going single elimination knockout.
That's fair. I'm down.
All right.
So the next one is Byhalia. 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 Take that however you will.
All right. I've got my answer.
All right. Pencils down, boards up. Let's see them.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of math, but I think this means I win.
Yeah.
So the correct answer is it is a Mississippi city. Population 1,339.
Insane, man.
Wow. At least there's 4 digits in their population.
I just didn't think you would say Mississippi 3 times in a row. That's the only reason why. And I also used to do this on standardized testing, which is probably why I failed some. I'm like, there's no way they would be A 3 times in a row. I'm picking B, even though I know it's A.
All right.
I figured you'd think that, so that's why I didn't do it.
You're in my head again. That's the second time.
All right. Are we done, or are we gonna?
I think we're done. I think Chris takes it 6-5 to 5.
Yeah, I'm happy for that.
Wow.
Hey, look, I've still got more. There's still more.
Oh my god!
All right, I could go more. I got more fun
We
facts that I didn't get to tell. So
we can never not have enough news again. No, that was a good game, Ben. That was a good game.
Never be bored of this podcast.
Well,
never.
That was a great concept.
So that was Mississippi or Mustafar. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! All right.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Really?
Yippee in Mississippi.
Okay, great. You know what? This game needs a theme song. Somebody get on that.
Oh God, I can't.
I don't know what the official theme song is.
Jesse is claiming that he got 10 points in the chat. I feel like he's Googling stuff.
Jesse's been around. When I picture Jesse, I imagine him just, driving on the open road, like
Jesse's
popping up randomly at people's establishments of business to get the top hats.
There you go. That is true. That is a thing that happened.
That's so good.
All right, let's go to Ask the SWU, because how do we follow up? Yes. How do we follow up?
Okay,
Mississippi or Mustafar.
So with Ask SWU, I have to preface this by saying that I also hit a surprise in here for you guys as well.
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt, Ben. Jesse says no, he's not claiming he got 10. However, Matthew Hardy is claiming he got 9 out of 10, which also feels like.
Well, Matthew Hardy
on the trivia.
He's a genius. He's a genius. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So you may sense a theme in this week's questions, or better yet, the lack of a theme.
Wait, what?
Because I challenged everyone in the Discord. Hey, why don't you try giving us your best non-Star Wars questions? So there's some doozies in there. There's some Star Wars questions too, but we'll see how this goes.
All right, so let's start off with Chris Abbott, Star Raptor, throws in with a non-Star Wars question. Thoughts on the Thunderbolts trailer?
2 thoughts.
My
first thought is I haven't seen the actual trailer because the few times that people tried to post it, it got flagged for community violations. But as every video that people have been posting on social media this week, including ours, apparently, we are not streaming on Facebook. And when I tried to hook it up, it said this is a community violation.
Yeah,
I'm not joking.
Okay.
Wow.
But
great.
But my second thought is I did see a trailer at Comic-Con for Thunderbolts, and I'm assuming that it's similar footage, and I liked that, and it was great.
I saw both the leaked version and the real finished version that they posted on YouTube, and it seems to be almost exactly the same trailer. And my thoughts are, looks really good. I'm a big Marvel fan, but I'm also been kind of iffy lately. Of just like, some things have caught my fancy, some things haven't. But this is like, okay, this is my jam. This is, I like all these actors, all these characters. Some of them have not had a ton of play in the universe so far. And it's great. And so yeah, I'm liking that, certain characters like, Ghost and fun fact, Ghost, the actress for Ghost in that trailer, Hannah John Kamen, I think is her name. Her first film role was in The Force Awakens.
Oh,
wow.
She was a random background First Order officer that had no lines.
Cool. I thought you were going to say she was from somewhere in Mississippi and it was one of the towns in the game.
That too, actually. How did you know?
The Pride of Jackson.
She's from Water.
She's from Water.
So you admit this is a town in Mississippi. We have been bamboozled.
Bamboozled again. I have zero thoughts on the Thunderbolts because I have not watched the trailer. Because I'm not interested, to be perfectly honest. I saw the poster and I recognized two characters, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on that I don't understand, and I don't know. It has not grabbed my attention.
Does it have Hopper and that girl who is scared to death in that movie about the cult in the woods in Norway?
So you're talking about Florence Pugh and David Harbour.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, she's about her and Bucky are the two that I see on the poster. I'm like, okay, I recognize you guys. Sure, that seems kind of interesting. I did recognize Hopper, and I went, Jesus, I thought we were done with that character.
What?
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, you're gonna love the next question, Dominic.
Oh God, I was I did not. That was an aspect of the Black Widow movie I did not care for.
May I say that David Harbour showed up to Comic-Con in full costume?
That's
really
cool.
Funny.
He's cool. He seems like a good guy. He's cool, but I don't know.
If you don't like him, you're probably not gonna like this movie. You're not even gonna like the trailer because it's like him. He's the first person that talks in the trailer. So.
Oh God. Okay. Well,
you saved yourself some.
I'll see it. I'll see it when it comes out on streaming. All right, Hannah stepped away, but I'm pretty sure we can all guess what her answer is, which is I haven't watched it. I don't watch anything in Star Wars. I don't know what the accent that was.
I'm glad she's not here to hear that.
I feel like her pronunciation of water was better than that.
All right. Thank you for that question. I'll watch the Thunderbolts trailer, but I don't know. It didn't feel like a priority.
The day it's on Facebook, I will watch it. I'm looking at you, Mark.
Yeah, Chris only watches things on Facebook.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah. Big fan of all the Facebook originals. Rule. All right. Next question comes from Vlad Sander. Says, challenge accepted. What are our esteemed hosts' thoughts on David Harbour being in upcoming shows for both DC and Marvel? He's Red Guardian for Marvel and voicing Frankenstein for DC in the upcoming Creature Commandos show. Also, at Ben Hart, the Star Wars guy, or any of the other co-hosts, have you seen the newest season of Doctor Who and with Shudigawa? And what are your thoughts? And finally, this deserves discussion. Have any of our hosts read anything by Terry Pratchett? And what were your thoughts? So, David Harbour being in two things. Has this ever happened where an actor has played multiple roles before? No, I think Harrison Ford has only ever been in Star Wars. He wasn't also Indiana Jones or Deckard or any other characters. He's only ever been Han Solo, and so no actor can play. Actors just get one role and then they're done. Then their career's over. That's how that works, right?
It is the interesting thing about David Harbour in the DCU, the new DCU, is the fact that James Gunn has specifically said that he's actually doing what Star Wars is not doing, which is not only everything is canon, the TV shows, everything, but also he's casting actors regardless if they're doing a voice role or not. He's casting them so that will be able to eventually play them in live action. So, and go back and forth.
That's cool.
Which, as we've seen in Star Wars, has not always been the case. So I think that's an interesting way to do it. And also, yeah, I like David Harbour. Okay. He's cool. Give him all the roles. Okay. I like him in both Marvel and DC. So cool. Do it.
Cool. Yeah. I can answer the second part of the question, which is I thought the new season of Doctor Who was good. And I like Ncuti as the Doctor. I thought it ended on kind of a weak note. The big reveal was a bit meh to me, but overall the season was strong and I'm looking forward to season 2. Has anyone read anything by Terry Pratchett? I am embarrassed to say I have not. That's a hole in my fantasy reading.
Yeah, I mean, despite the
familiar.
popularity of Good Omens, I've not seen nor read Good Omens, and I thought there was one, The Fifth Element, but I realized I misread it. It was The Fifth Elephant, so no.
Big difference. Big difference.
The Fifth Elephant. That's great.
Did Terry Pratchett write one of the prequel novelizations, or am I going insane?
I didn't see any
No,
in the list.
You're thinking of Terry. Oh, jeez. What?
Batchet.
Is it?
Latchet. Snatch it.
Shh, he's
Nick
confusing me. I keep wanting to say Terry Crews, but I know it's not him.
That dude, massive Star Wars fan who absolutely would.
Terry Brooks.
Terry Brooks.
Terry.
Wrote The Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace. All right. There you go. Good questions. Good questions. I feel like we didn't have good answers.
Also,
but good questions.
I also like in Shutigawa in Doctor Who, guys. I haven't seen the whole last season, but I liked him. He's cool.
He's good. He's good in the role. He's very good in the role.
Hey, while I was gone, did anyone ask about Rings of Power? Because I really want to talk about Rings of Power.
No Rings of Power.
I'm
questions
really behind on
yet.
that. I'm really
But,
behind on that.
hey,
show.
guys.
Oh my god, it's good.
Shoot us.
Oh my god, it's
I
good.
will catch up probably this weekend. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from Darth Robin, who says, "What are y'all's favorite music? Personally, I like classic rock the most."
Oh, this is a perfect day for that. Since two of us have our music shirts on, the other two did not get the memo.
Hey, Chris, take it away.
Oh, I'm wearing a short and sweet album cover shirt by your favorite stadium sellout favorite artist.
I was just asking what music you like. What are you saying?
Are we doing
literally?
trivia
What are you
again?
saying, Chris?
I was trying to make a very deep joke, and I tripped and fell down a well in the middle of it. Hello, guys. Can you hear me from down here?
No, we can't.
Sabrina.
No, I'm extra lost. What the hell are you talking about a well for? What is this? Is this still part of the bit, or is this a bit about the bit? I'm so confused.
I love the soundtrack to Lassie.
It's always
water. There's water down here. Help! There's water. Water. Oh, anyway. God.
All right. So I think what we can take from that is Chris likes Sabrina Carpenter. That somehow through all of that, Chris likes Sabrina Carpenter.
If you're watching the show, you didn't need any of that. You could have just looked at the shirt.
There you go.
But you're welcome, audio listeners.
Ben, what's your favorite music? You seem like a Mozart kind of guy.
Oh man,
yeah.
that single he dropped this week was hot. It was fire.
Absolute
fire, man.
fire.
Hella
I'm ready for his world tour.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, I genuinely I love music, but also I just don't really pursue it all that much. I'm weird like that. You mentioned it before the show, Chris. I've posted my Spotify Wrapped, and it's all Star Wars music. It's all Star Wars. It's all John Williams and John Powell and Ludwig Göransson. That's basically it. I'm kind of boring like that.
I don't pursue music. What are you? AI. I don't pursue.
I mean, I don't know. Perhaps
Listen,
I
just
like
listen to
music and
music.
don't like music. No. I like all kinds of music, but I think I have the musical taste of someone 3 times my age. My favorite band of all time is ELO. So there you go.
Oh,
wow,
that's a good answer.
Actually, that's kind of on brand, honestly. I could have guessed that. That's so fair.
Which also,
Yes.
it's a classical thing there. So I think that's kind of
There's some very good
it's home.
songs by them.
All right. Hannah, your favorite music.
I am quite versed of a lot of genres. It depends my mood. I'm quite a Swiftie. I love a good Taylor Swift. I'm down for Sabrina Carpenter. But a real favorite at the moment is an artist called Lizzie McAlpine. She's from the States. Very good. Big fan. And I knew her before she put out that viral song. What's it called?
What viral song?
You don't even know the name of it because it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I'm forgetting the name of the song.
Don't listen to that one. It's too popular.
Oh my god. I can't think of it. I'm on the spot now. But I knew her before that, so anyway.
So I will fall into the stereotype of early 30s, late 20s person and say my favorite kind of music is late 90s,
like Linkin Park or something.
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s pop punk emo stuff. Hence the Green Day shirt that I'm wearing. So yeah, that's where I tend to fall with music. There you go. I think
Ceilings. That's the name of the song. Ceilings. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. There we go. There we go. I think we actually, for the first time out of all of these questions, we answered it. There we go. Dr. Hugh 17 says, out of the Doctor's costumes, do you have a top favorite or at least a favorite and a guilty pleasure? I enjoy his work as a robot in Ahsoka. That's my favorite Doctor Who outfit.
I think I like Matt Smith's the best. I love the jacket.
Yeah. Ben, what's your favorite Doctor Who costume?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's so many good ones. I mean, like, dang, Ncuti Gatwa had 15 different costumes this season. Like, they're all good.
I'm gonna say he doesn't have a costume. He just wears clothes.
He's just a normal person that puts on new clothes every day.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'll give a shout out to what's his name? The dude with the long scarf.
Tom Baker.
Like Bendu actor, dude.
You like
that's
him
that's an iconic look. It's an iconic deep cut there.
Hannah, do you have a favorite Doctor Who costume?
David Tennant.
Correct. For me, it's Peter Capaldi in the hoodie. I like that he just sort of went from he just sort of became this like old guy running around in a hoodie. I liked that. All right, good question. Dave of the North asks, "What's your bubble tea order?"
Never had it. I've never had bubble tea.
Same.
So wait, what is the difference?
I drink real drinks, so I don't have one.
I have a serious question. What is the difference between Boba Fett tea and bubble tea? Because
I think one's for Americans and one's for Americans who can't figure out how to say boba. I'll have some of that there bubble tea. I want no bubble tea.
Can I get me a Boba Fett tea?
Is it the same thing or is
Make it sweet, boy?
I think it is the same thing. Yeah. I think you're actually right there. I think it's for people that don't know. I
don't want to drink with stuff in it.
Yes. Yeah. I'm with you there. I don't want to chew if I'm drinking.
I'm a big texture person. If there's something like if it's a drink, it needs to be completely liquefied. Okay, no, I ain't doing that. I ain't playing with that.
Yeah, don't.
Do you like mashed potatoes, Ben? Do you like mashed potatoes?
No, I do.
Yeah. Not. Okay, that I just immediately understood.
I'll take potatoes other ways, but no. Mash them up. Yeah. Come on, are you kidding me? Get that mushy stuff away from me.
I actually get.
Really... Yeah. It's a texture thing, right? You don't like the texture of
it's disgusting.
Yes. Oh my god. Yep. Okay. I've just characterized you completely in my head. Yep. I know exactly who you are now, Ben, to the core.
I get really excited around mashed potatoes because usually I can't eat mashed potatoes. So whenever I can, I get excited because I have it like once every 3 years.
What do you mean you usually can't eat it? What
it's very often made with butter, which
so
I
true.
don't eat.
And milk.
And
sometimes milk as well.
Yeah.
Good point. Do you eat honey? Do you eat honey, Chris?
Yes, actually, that is the one animal-related thing that I do eat.
Yes, because I know some vegans don't have honey.
I didn't for a while, just out of just like principle, like, oh, as a vegan, I guess I shouldn't eat honey. But then I'm like, well, why am I doing this? Because there's literally every reason why I'm not eating the other animal products doesn't apply to honey, so it makes no sense.
Have you not seen the bee movie? When we stop eating honey, all the bees don't have a job, and then all the flowers die. So we have to be eating the honey.
What's the deal with all this honey?
Yes, the honey is most likely meant to be eaten. So
yes, it's beautiful, beautiful bee movie. Shut up, bee movie.
That script is impeccable.
Great movie.
I actually will probably email.
Let's give them a Star Wars movie. Let's give him a Star Wars movie.
We're turning this next week. We're turning this into the B movie Underworld. Okay, we're devoting our lives to that.
We're just gonna read through the whole script, the entire show.
The B Underworld.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Thank you for that, Dave. Dave of the North. Good question. Somehow we got 7 minutes about potatoes and honey out of that. Love it. All right. And next question comes from Kajira, who says, any place in Japan y'all's want to come check out after Celebration?
So for me,
Tokyo
I want to
Disney.
see that sounds really cool. I probably will do that. But I want to try to catch the tail end of the cherry blossom season somewhere if I can. I know that Celebration is kind of, I think, at the end of that. So it might be difficult, but maybe I have to go south or something, but I'm going to try because I do want to see that if I can.
Just come to Toronto. We have in the park, we got there was some exchange between Toronto and some city in Japan, and we got a whole bunch of them. So like when people were talking about planning trips to Japan around Celebration and involving the cherry blossoms, I'm like, oh yeah, people would travel for that. I can go 20 minutes down the street.
It's not just to see the cherry blocks, like the cherry trees, because there's that in America too. Like there's a lot of those in Washington,
no, but
DC.
there's like a specific like look to it. Again,
yeah,
like they're very beautiful. I'm not.
It's more like with the architecture.
Dissing cherry blossoms.
Yes, I'm dissing cherry. I've decided to start a beef with cherry blossoms
out there.
Yeah. I'm starting a beef with bubble tea and cherry blossoms. That's what my fights are going to be for the rest of for the next 2 weeks. What else do people want to see in Japan?
I'm quite into seeing a bit of the historical parts of Japan. I'm planning to go check out some various temples and things. So I'm a bit of a history buff, so probably check out a lot of that. Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I have just not started planning, and so I can't give an answer at this point.
I haven't really either.
I'm like planning through Matthew for you, Dom, because you're like, don't talk to me. I'm at D23. I'm like, oh, fine. So I've been like planning it with Matthew. Anyway,
don't encourage that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Somebody has to be on it, and yeah, I'm just waiting for the official hotel block to go on sale. When that happens, that's when I'll lock in. But I have not thought very much about it beyond, hey, Celebration. That's what I want to do, and then other things for a week and a half or something. So,
are you coming, Ben? Are you coming to Celebration?
Yes.
Oh, wait, really? Wait, legit?
I don't know.
Why'd you juke me, brother? What are you doing to me?
I was getting ready.
Why are my feelings like that?
I was getting ready to cue up the Ben Hart, the Star Wars guy song again with that pause.
You really
I just like messing with you.
Yeah.
Ben, where do you want to go in Japan? What do you want to do?
I mean, you kind of took my answer. I mean, I kind of want to see. That's my ideal thing is like to see everything, like legitimately, like spend like a month, like because like how many more times am I gonna go to Tokyo or Japan? Like, come on, like things. Like I low key already want to like go to every Disney park in the world, so like that's obviously on the thing because they're all different. Like it's not like, oh, here's Cinderella's castle, but it's in Japan. Like they have their own different parks and stuff like that I want to see, and all the rides in Japanese. Like that's gonna be cool.
I hadn't even considered that as part of the experience, that the rides would be in Japanese, but I guess that makes sense.
Also, okay, question I have. The panels at Celebration, will they be in English or Japanese?
So
what will be the dominant? I mean, it's in Japan, so it would have to be in Japanese, right?
No. So the last international celebration that was in a non-English speaking non-English predominant country was in Germany in 2023, and the majority of the programming was in English, including fan panels and everything. It wasn't just the official stuff. All the official stuff will be in English because the people making Star Wars speak English by and large, but most of the programming was in English. There were a handful of German panels, like fan panels and stuff, but it was majority in English. I suspect it will be the same way, though. Probably there will be a slightly higher amount of Japanese stuff, like stuff that's actually in Japanese, than there was stuff in German, but I still think 70% of it will be in English. That's a guess. But also panel applications, if people want to do fan panels and that sort of thing at Celebration, open today. Let's get them in, get your ideas in, and ask all of us to be on them. We will grace your panels with our presence. All right, there you go. Thinking ahead to Celebration Japan. Next question comes from Matthew, who says, "Here's my question: which Mandalorian and why should it be Tar Vizsla?" That's not a sentence.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just
what?
yes. The answer is yes.
Exactly.
This is the way.
Wait. What about the OG? What about the Mandalore? The OG original Mandalore?
Yeah, sure.
Mandalore with an apostrophe in the middle. Yes, it's weird.
The lore of the Mandas.
Hey, I saw Giancarlo Esposito over the weekend.
Oh, nice. How's he doing?
He's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty sick, man. Yeah, he's not too bad. The kids are good.
Yeah, hanging with our boy Moff Gideon. How's he doing? Did you catch up with him?
Was that Brothers Chicken good?
Yeah, I just bing bong. No, but he was really he had a panel. I'm just overtaking this section now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was really like I tried to film parts of it. But his panel, it was like he was his goal to empower every person there to be like the king of their destiny. Nice. He was like the host was like, so how's it like being this character? And he's like, you can do anything you put your mind to. Happiness is from within. Like he was doing this whole an hour panel.
That sounded less like an impression of Giancarlo Esposito and more like an impression of Barack Obama. That was that was like a borderline Obama impression.
We got it. I'm gonna think it. Yeah, that's good.
Do you guys remember the age when Mandalorians ruled the galaxy? Man, those were the days.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Brother.
No, I quit. Come on.
Yeah, me too.
Come on.
All right. Next question comes from Joel Davis, who says, looking back retroactively, do you consider season 1 and season 2 of The Mandalorian to really just be one long season split in half and marked as separate seasons, considering in total they equal 16 episodes and do tell a more well-rounded arc for Din? Joel obviously missed Ben's memo to not submit Star Wars questions. No.
Look, I never said they couldn't. I just challenged them to do better and make some non-Star Wars questions.
But yes, I will agree with that assessment of season 1 and season 2. It's one long season, one long arc. Where season 1 wraps is kind of even kind of weird. Like I remember thinking back in the day, the season 1 finale it was good, but it didn't feel like a grand season finale conclusion thing where season 2 did. Season 2 absolutely did. Luke Skywalker shows up. What more do you want? Like it was it starts with Din and Grogu finding each other and it ends with them parting ways. Like that's a complete arc. So yeah, I think of season 1 and season 2. Yeah, I think that's a completely valid read of seasons 1 and 2.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, but also I don't really make distinctions between seasons in retrospect. Really, they just matter to the scheduling of when the show is going to be released, which is annoying to me because it means I have to wait a very long time between seasons. But when I'm thinking about shows after the fact, I just think of them as a show, and it's just the season happens to be a code to tell me what episode is which. Like, is this the first episode of season 2 or season 1 to differentiate them? But I see a show as just one complete story typically, and if I'm watching it, I'm just going to go through all of them. It's not like I'm going to stop and be like, well, season 1's over. Like, I'm just going to go on to whatever the next episode is, which if it's season 2 or not.
Remember season 2 of Mando, and I think it was episode 3 that it was the crash on the ice planet and the ice spiders and the whole frog lady and the meltdown people had been like, this is so boring.
I didn't really like that either myself.
Yeah. Oh, did you not? There you go.
No. And that was the same director as Skeleton Crew, right? Wait, how am I confusing that? Did they both direct similar things?
They're both Marvel directors.
That's why.
Because it was Peyton Reed that directed that episode, but then he came back and directed the season 2 finale. So like he did that.
Redeemed himself on that one, yeah.
I feel like he was in season 3 too. Did he do something in season 3? Maybe.
Quite possibly. It wouldn't surprise me.
Maybe.
There you go. All right. Good question. Good question, Joel. And finally, from Jesse B says, "Good evening, SWU. As is my standard practice, I've come with 2 questions for tonight, both fitting the different parameters set forth for tonight's prompt from Ben. Question uno: what is your comfort movie / show that isn't related to Star Wars? And what about it makes it your comfort pick? Theme, actor, setting, etc." Question 2: since switching to Discord for questions, does that mean the Star Wars Underworld email account is no longer active, or is that still checked on a semi-regular basis? I'll answer question 2 first. I check it once every 3 weeks or so, and it's mainly full of spam and press releases from Hasbro. So that's about what goes on in there. So yeah, mainly we just use the Discord for questions. But if you really want to send us an email, we'll get to it. We'll see it eventually. But question uno, comfort movie or show that isn't Star Wars.
For me, it's probably You've Got Mail, which is a movie from the 1990s starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. It's a Nora Ephron film based on a book called Shop Girl, I believe. And I've probably seen the movie like 20 or 30 times, probably 50 actually. And I like it because it is a story about 2 people who have always seemed like older adults, but at this point are probably our age, who experienced a romance when email was invented. And so they're using email for the first time. And literally there's a scene where they use instant messaging, or texting, as I guess we will call it now, for the first time. And so there's something kind of nostalgic about the film, as someone myself who grew up kind of with one foot in the analog era and another foot in the digital era, to kind of go back to that transition and to watch a movie that was set in that time when it's an analog world where everybody sends letters and all your friends are people that you just have within arm's length of you. But then that's transitioning into the digital world where all of a sudden you can talk to anyone around the world and you can have all these connections with people. And, you know, the joke of the movie is that 2 people who know each other in real life are communicating anonymously online and don't realize it. And it's kind of, that's what's funny about it.
It's like the Pina Colada song.
Exactly. Exactly.
Jeez.
All right, good answer. That's a really good answer and a great movie.
Yes.
Who else? Hannah, what's your comfort show movie? Yeah.
Movie specifically?
Movie or show? Movie or show?
Oh, movie or show. Oh, okay. Movie, I'm gonna say Lord of the Rings, and show either The Office or Parks and Rec. I'm big fans of both. Parks and Rec is very underrated. Parks and Rec is very funny. So yeah, that's my picks.
Very good. Ben?
Yeah, so shoot, I mean, there's a lot. I could spend probably all night. It's almost like I do another podcast talking about other movies besides Star Wars. But one that has stuck, I mean, for the past few years has been Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. That movie is just one that like I will go back to very frequently and be like, you know, if I just want something to put on just to chill, it's a gorgeously animated movie. It's, you know, great themes, and it's a movie that every time you watch it, you catch something else in it that you know, that is, you know, either in the animation or just like a theme of it. And, you know, it runs the gamut of being extremely funny, but extremely endearing. And and I need to go back to the sequel because I haven't seen the sequel as much, and I'm not sure how I feel about the sequel at this point. But it's a part 1 of a part 2 thing, so it's a whole thing, and who knows when the part 3 will ever come out. So, but yeah, that one's up there for me.
All right, Spider-Verse. For me, it is the British, Australian, and New Zealand versions of Taskmaster. All the English language versions of it. I started watching that during COVID lockdowns, and it has been my obsession to the point where I probably watch more Taskmaster than I do anything else, including Star Wars these days.
That's so good.
it's funny, it's silly, it doesn't ask you to take it seriously, and yet it doesn't feel mindless either, because there is a part of you that is sort of sitting there thinking, how would I do this? And even though you're thinking about something very ridiculous, you are like having fun using a different part of your brain to go, how would I carry those eggs across the field while all of my limbs are tied together and I have to walk backwards and be blindfolded, which isn't a task but should be. It's fun in that way, where you get to sort of imagine yourself playing along with the game. So that's my favorite show, probably my favorite show of all time now at this point. It's squeezed out everything. So there you go, Taskmaster. All right, I think that's it. Them's the questions.
Did we spend more time talking about non-Star Wars stuff than Star Wars stuff?
I think we spent more time talking about towns in Mississippi than anything else, man.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Gee, how did that happen?
And it kills me that you're like, there's so much more to the game if we wanted to keep going.
Yeah,
there's a lot of towns in Mississippi, and there's a lot of Star Wars planets.
I didn't want to say anything, but here, announcing live on air the spin-off podcast, F in Mississippi or Mustafar.
Let's go.
Good.
Listen to that for hours.
Oh, there we go. Terrific. All right. That's where I think we're gonna leave things and begin to wrap things up for this week.
Thank you so much for watching and listening to the show. We'll be back same time, same place with another show next week. But in the meantime, if you want more from the Star Wars Underworld and you like the app Instagram, but all of those photos are a bit annoying for you and they use up all your data, you can go to their exciting new app, Threads.
Hey, do you like this app except you don't like anything about it? Try this other thing.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out.
Do you like pizza but you hate all the flavors? Try eating mud.
I love cardboard boxes. I don't know about you, especially when they have New Gunray on them.
I will not tolerate Thread slander here.
At the SWU is our handle on this exciting new app where you can post text status updates. It's a novel thing. It's breaking the internet.
Hey, look, at least it's better than Blue Sky.
At the SWU.
I guess.
Check it out. Dominic, thank you so much for hosting tonight.
It was my pleasure as always. I cannot wait to plan my trips to Japan and Mississippi and nowhere else. The only places I ever intend on visiting in my life.
Great.
And just go in there and seeing if they places sound like Star Wars planets or not. That's my whole goal for the rest of eternity. No, this was a great show. It was a lot of fun. Ben, I give you a hard time, but that was a good game and a great concept. So I perhaps will play another round someday, or perhaps we'll hit back with another version of blank or Star Wars blank. Well, it should be a good time. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got. See everybody next week.
You can follow Dominic on social media at DominicJ25, where you can experience his exciting new reality show where he searches under every rock in Mississippi for a town called Water.
There's gotta be water around here somewhere. Sir, here's a bottle. No, I'm looking for the town.
Ben, thank you so much for hosting as well.
Well, it was an absolute pleasure. And I want to say, as always, especially this tonight, because this was a lot of fun. Thanks guys for playing along. Thanks guys for everyone in the audience for putting up with me and with us and all the shenanigans that happened tonight, because it was a crazy episode. This is what happens when there's no Star Wars news, guys. When we're left with just like one rumor, it goes off the rails, and you never know. So if you want more of this, I don't know, wish for more not Star Wars news, because who knows, if we have another dry week next week, who the hell knows will happen. But this was a heck of a lot of fun, and we'll see you back here doing who knows what in 7 days time.
And if you expect that you might be a future guest on the Star Wars Underworld, I would implore you to follow Ben on Instagram at Ben Hart with no E, which is probably his username everywhere else as well, would be my guess. so that you can learn a little bit more about the names of Mississippi towns, so you can do well in this trivia show. Check it out. And last but not least, Hannah, thank you so much for being on as well.
Thank you so much. What a good time. A great show. And I can't wait for the next game, Aussie Animal or Star Wars Animal. It's going to be a great one.
Oh, yeah. I'm so down for that. You better... I will be mad if this does not happen now.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Perfect.
You've got 7 days to plan this game.
Yeah. Damn.
Otherwise, we're doing 12 more rounds of Mississippi Town.
Yes, that's what I'm like. I will be doing that. Yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the thing that's brilliant about that is the rest of the world knows Australia for being the place where its animals aren't anywhere else. For some reason, you just have a whole different group of animals than all the other places.
Well,
so it's just perfect. We won't know what they are.
Oh, it's because the kangaroos haven't figured out how to build boats yet, Chris.
Yeah,
We're complaining about it. We don't know how to get over there.
Yeah.
It's a continent.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Awesome. You can follow Hannah on social media at the Raeside, where you might see some posts about some rare animals that might help you in a future trivia game on this show. Yes. Check it out. Yes. RAE Side. The other things that you can check out, all the other shows on our network, in addition to the Raeside, we got Iron Cannon Tales from Beyond the Galaxy Tractor Beam and more. And you can also check out our Discord, where you can ask these wonderful questions that make for some amazing answers on the show. Link is in the description and the show notes. Make sure that you leave a review on the app that you're listening to us on. Thank you to all of our channel members and people who super chat with us regularly. And as you leave, one last request, please punch that subscribe button. Chewy, that's it. We're out of here. We'll see you soon. Until then, for Ben and Hannah and Dominic, my name is Chris, and may the Force be with you.
All right.
Water.